Hey traders, TG Watkins here. It's June 5th when I'm recording this, and welcome to the free video. Now, if you come over here to profitpilot.com, you can see that the last entry I made was June 26th, and I tell you that because my wife and I were on a boat trip with her parents. They rented a 48-foot cabin cruiser basically, and we went up to Desolation Sound for the week. So we were gone Monday through Friday all of last week. We had some really just amazing pictures, great time up there. The scenery was just gorgeous, and to be able to putt around with them on this thing just was really, really rewarding. That's her parents on the left there. So I tell you guys all this, one, because it's great to get away, and we should always take some time away from the market. It's nice. But the other reason is because, well, the market really rallied while I was on that trip. But before I left for that trip, I made a post to the Moxie subscribers, to Moxie Traders, and this is what I said. The market is down slightly, and you got to remember this was June 26th when I made this post. Said the market is down slightly, and at some point I figured there would be a small bounce. It was actually much bigger than that, but it was still a bounce. And I said it's probably going to be around the daily 21 for the SPY, and that might help reveal names which are strong because they might take that opportunity to move up, or it could help names stop going down and work on putting in a base. The SPY may want to go lower overall, but we know the daily 21 is a typical support area, bounce area. The pullback has been very orderly so far, which leads me to believe the market is still bullish. It just needs to rest. And so if we come over and we look at the SPY and we see what happened while I was on that trip, we got this big move right here off of the daily 21. So that was a little unfortunate for me that I was gone and away, but I at least was able to tell people and tell our traders and subscribers what to be looking for and how to expect it and take advantage of this. So with that being said, I also said that typically going into 4th of July, it tends to be bullish. This is way more bullish than I thought it was going to be, but hey, that's great. So now, the market came up here to the double top. It's a little overbought here on the hourly chart, and you can see that there's a bit of a gap here on the daily chart. So I'm still bullish, but I do think we need to let the market kind of digest some of this from an index perspective. From an individual name perspective, I think the market's still strong out there, and we just need to be able to figure out names that are looking good, healthy, and continue to move up. So with that in mind, I had a couple names I wanted to show you guys something. So if we look at, say, something like DT, and I've been looking at the higher time frame charts because I've been finding that we are what I think is obviously a new bull market and things are working out. And you can see on the monthly time frame how price has been following the monthly moving average right there pretty well. And even on the weekly chart, you can see they have their first kind of move up, and then they pull back into support, and then they move up again, and then maybe they pull back into support. DT did that. GT, Goodyear tire. And if we look at this one, out of nowhere, this thing had a big pop up and a big move. Okay, you don't really want to go chasing it up here, but the fact that it's now pulled back, and I left these Fibonacci's on because from the low to the high, it just did a 50% retracement. That seems like a pretty healthy, pretty good retracement. Now, the reason I'm mentioning this is that, again, you don't want to go chase the highs, but also Goodyear tire hasn't started going up again. So I can't say for sure that it's done going down, but what I've been finding is if you can just kind of find an area where price wants to go sideways and you can kind of pick up the lower spots in that, that might help set you up for whenever things do move, because I've been finding that prices kind of just start to launch out of nowhere. We saw that with Mara and some of the cryptos. We've seen that with some of the semiconductors. They just kind of go sideways, 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 and then they suddenly move on us. You can see, for example, AutoNation. And in through here, if you're looking at the daily chart, yeah, it could be a little bit tough. I mean, how do you know exactly which one is going to be working? Maybe here, maybe here, maybe here, and then it finally takes this big dip, and then that's the one that ticks it off. And if you look at the hourly chart, you can see that there were multiple hourly Moxie price triggers. Now, the last one obviously did work, and then you can see here on the daily, but could we have gotten in a little bit sooner? And if we look at the monthly and weekly time frames, we could see that it looked fairly orderly. Look at price kind of coming down here and resting on these moving averages, and look how it flagged perfectly into the monthly moving average. And so this is why I'm saying maybe zoom out a little bit, find some lower spots to get in, and then just kind of hang on to these things as long as they don't totally fall apart, because trying to find that exact moment where these things are going to go, by that point you're too late. So just kind of start building a position in these, and then you can be ready for when they move up. And I also then mentioned that because AI is another big stock that a lot of people have been talking about. And so what does this look like? Well, again, you don't really want to be chasing it up here, but maybe when it starts coming back down here, you can start building a position and start kind of getting into it, maybe here. And even if it starts to chop around sideways for a while, you're in a decent position that, hopefully stays like that before it wants to go up. Now, if this thing really does roll over and, wants to go down pretty hard, okay, then you need to get out and try again later, because you can see back here, that is where it started, came back down and then took off again. So name of the game, you got to find the dips to be able to get into these things, and otherwise sometimes you're going to have a little bit of patience while these things kind of flag and percolate going sideways before they really take off and go up. All right, guys. Well, thanks again, and we'll see you at the next one.
Hey, TG here with Simpler Trading. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like or comment below. Also, make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you can stay up to date with my market analysis. Or you can join my free newsletter with the link in the description. Good trading, and I'll see you at the next video.